Hey, you need one to get you in there?
No, brother, I'm
Good to go. Big time.
I don't have a teleprompter, so I brought notes, just so you guys know.
Goodbye.
I don't have a teleprompter, so I can't do it for Beth. You got it?
We on?
Got it? We on? We the people and the Constitution of the United States sitting at the ground of my feet right here. I'm here on my 45th birthday and asked all my friends to come out to allow me to say something for 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Yeah!
Well, here's the problem. I'm worried about our future. I'm worried about ours, our kids, and the freedom of this country. I started following all these current events around 20 years ago. There's a few things in the past 3 years that I don't think people know, and I'm about to share with you. So that's where we're headed. 3 years ago, this administration said, while he was running, it was all about hope and change. Hope and change what? No one asked what change was. And over the last 3 years, even in Michelle's words, they are out to rewrite, in fact, a quote, "We need to rewrite history." And paraphrasing her, I've never been proud of my country till now, when Barack got elected. So that's that side of it. Well, it has. This government has fundamentally changed the United States. Obamacare was passed 2 years ago, and Obamacare is a 2,400-page bill that no politician had the ability to read before they voted on. It came out of Pelosi's backdoor deals in September, October, and it was passed on a Friday night so that they could go home. And Harry Reid's policy was all done backdoor through bribes, Cornhusker, kickback, and Louisiana Purchase. If you want to look those up, it's all behind closed doors. So nobody had the opportunity to even read this 2,400-page bill that has an effect on every one of us. We're still, in fact, in Nancy Pelosi's words, she said, we have to pass it to find out what's in it. We're still finding out what's in it, and it's not even finished being written yet. Over the next 2 years, till 2014, then we'll have an idea of how much trouble we're all in. A 2,100-page bill, also in that same 2 years, passed, Dodd-Frank financial bill. Both Barney Frank and Christopher Dodd, representative in the center, both have announced that they're not running again, which just leaves us with this crock of regulation that nobody knows what's in it. One thing I do know that's in it is the transactions. Every transaction that we make, starting in 2013, if you transfer money from savings to checking, the government gets some of your money. If you just transfer money from checking to savings, if you buy a cheeseburger on a credit card, the government's taxing us. We have no idea what's in it. Both those two, the EPA's regulations shutting down all kinds of energy, which I'll get to in just a minute, all three of these things is the reason we stand where we are. Complete uncertainty. There's no way businesses can hire because they don't know about health care. They don't know how the EPA is going to come after them, and they don't know about taxes. So if you want to look at our economy and why it's stagnant, that's it. IRS, EPA, Obamacare, and Dodd-Frank. Those four things. Reason why? The progressives are all in power. We're headed away from freedom of choice, and we are headed to allowing the government to think for us. Making our choices for our families instead of us making our choices for our families. Liberty and personal freedom shrink, and I'm going to prove it. That represents energy. And as people become working and we all have energy, we all grow like a fire. The government caps it. And as the time goes, so does the energy. So I'm worried about our kids. Not even us. I'm worried about our kids. So I want to cover 4 different points on that. Taxes, energy, policy, and then tell you guys why this president and his ideology is what it's all about. On the taxes word, and I'm going to use Barack's words, I need to pay my fair share. 49% of tax-paying population pays no federal income tax. So the rest of us are paying for all of everything else that nobody's paying for. General Electric, a billion-dollar company, paid $0 in 2011. Why? Green energy subsidies. And I'll get to green energy here in just a minute as well. This administration has pushed class warfare to tax, in their words, to tax millionaires and billionaires. But under their plan, it's anybody that makes over $250,000, which a lot of companies make over $250,000 as an individual, but they pay people, but they're paying taxes on that money. So he's shutting down business. And if you do just tax millionaires and billionaires, economists have said it'll pay 8 days of spending. So the whole point of him saying tax millionaire and billionaire, and their talking points constantly saying it, has nothing to do with anything except class warfare. Energy. And these are Barack Obama's words. Under my cap and trade policy, energy prices will necessarily skyrocket. Under this administration, cap and trade did not pass. It did not pass the Congress, which was the Senate and the House owned by Democrats 2 years ago. Didn't pass, but yet this administration tells the EPA to go after everybody. Coal mining and oil, the EPA has taxed coal mining and oil refineries in Kentucky, West Virginia, Texas, and Louisiana that I can list right now, and I'm sure there's others. Is that what is right for American jobs? Is that what is right for the American economy? Because we were based on cheap energy. That's what built this country up from the ground up. Barack Obama has a... Look, they're sicking on me right now. I swear, as soon as I started this, I knew they were coming after me. And Barack Obama's everything is on the table policy. He shut down the pipeline from Canada. He's done a moratorium on drilling in the Gulf, a moratorium on drilling off North Carolina shores, but yet China is right off of Cuba, right off of our Florida coast, and Brazil is in the Gulf of Mexico. So he shut us down, shutting all the jobs and the energy and the internal energy that we have. He shut all that down, but yet lets other people do what they do. I don't get that. And on the other side of that, why has the government even pushed green energy? Solar panels and wind have, I think, are 0.8% of our energy, 0.8, but yet we're spending billions of dollars on it. It's never worked since the 70s. Why would it work now? Solyndra and 3 other green companies just this year that the government backed with our money, taxpayer money, have filed bankruptcy. $850 million just wasted. If there was a supply, let's talk supply and demand under capitalism, if there was a supply, the market would supply it. If there was a demand and it was cost effective, we would do it, not the government. Foreign policy. First 2 months he was in office, he traveled all over the world and apologized for American exceptionalism. Actually bowed to the Chinese leader, the Japanese leader, the Saudi Arabian king, and the mayor of Tampa, which I don't know why he bowed to that, but he did. Why does everyone want to come here if this place is not exceptional? That's what I want to know. This is the greatest country in history, in the history of the world. We've had independence from England. We'd have civil war over slavery, women's rights to vote, the Great Depression, and minority rights, and we've overcome all of that in the last 200 years. And all these countries are going through that right now, but we did it over 200 years. The world has gone crazy. The world has gone crazy. China owns us. In fact, the last 3 years are the craziest I've ever seen in this world. China owns us. The Russians, Putin has zero respect for Barack Obama. So Russia doesn't care about us anymore. China doesn't care. We've lost total world control because of lack of leadership. And this policy of this president is the policy of lead from behind. If anybody has any idea what that means, lead from behind, I'm not sure, but that's his policy.
It's cornhole.
The Middle East, blowing up. Radical Muslims taking over in Egypt and being backed by this country, or being backed by this administration. Europe is falling apart, and we here at home have unemployment over 8% for 42 months, complete uncertainty in the jobs. We have Occupy protesters, violence like Greece has seen over the last 10 years. We have that going on in our country right now, which means our police officers, violence is everywhere. Racism is being claimed everywhere. Racism is being claimed for anything that has nothing to do.
Bald-headed guys, dude.
And class warfare. The progressives are dividing us, and this is all about uncertainty. Obamacare, IRS taxes, and EPA regulations, businesses don't know what to do. There's uncertainty in the world. So I want to explain BO, and a little respect. I want to explain the president, Barack Obama. Barack Obama was born in Hawaii.
Set the videotape off real quick.
He was born in Hawaii. I'll give him that.
Don't send it viral.
His dad was Kenyan and communist. His mother was Kansas communist, met in Hawaii. I'll give him that. He was born there. His dad left immediately. He never knew his dad. He's seen his dad one day as an entire life. I'm telling you his story right now. His mother married somebody from Pakistan, a Muslim and a communist. He wasn't, from what I understand, the right stepdad, so she shipped him off to Pakistan for grade school. So he went to Muslim schools the whole time he was growing up. And we can't find, this guy has sealed all of his transcripts, so none of us can go back and look at where he was in high school, where he was in college, where he was in grade school. None of us can see any of that. So his schooling in Pakistan, from what I understand from him, he went to high school, played basketball in Hawaii, so I understand that. He's never touched foot on this mainland American soil until he goes to college. He goes to Columbia, and in Columbia, supposedly he's applied for a scholarship, but he's locked down every single thing, so we can't even see how he applied for the scholarship. And the rumors are that he doesn't have, here I don't even get into, I'm not even going to bring that up, but he got into Columbia. Went to Harvard. How he got into Harvard, I don't know that either. And we can't see his transcripts. And here's the crazy part about that. People have done studies and called, class of '83 was Columbia, called 400 people that graduated from Columbia in '83. None of them knew him. So how did he go to school and nobody know him? And he sealed all of his transcripts. So if he's who is he? You know, his past is communism and Muslim. Grade school. His today is all not transparent in any way. So I don't get why anybody in the media has not, they're all worried about Romney's success instead of going after Barack Obama's who knows. And that's where I don't get it. So that's what I wanted to bring up. So my point to that and everything is, if you're about individual choice and individualism, or are you about the federal government making your choices for you? Because that's all this election is about. In 90 days from right now, this election is going to happen, and it's about you and your kids and your future, or it's about the government raising you, your kids, and your future. What's your fair share? All right, God bless the United States of America. I, Brett Boyer, wrote this, and I approve this message.
I agree and disagree, but I love you. Good speech. Happy birthday, most important.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, most important. Now get your ass on the cornhole board. Welcome to America. Get your ass on the cornhole.